Top of the morning to everybody on this cool and damp but clear sky day here in Robeson County, North Carolina. My thermometer here in the truck says 60 degrees inside. Feels about that. I think later in the week we're actually going to hit the 50s in the morning hour. Can't wait. Anyhow, it's for you, Brother Kyle. Hope y'all are all doing well. So, I don't know what to talk about on Monday because it is Monday. Headed down the road to work. Lighter note, we had my company, J&L Shooting Academy. We conducted our inaugural low light level pistol course. Learned a lot, had a lot of fun. Folks, I would encourage you to find a firearms instructor in your area that offers a course of that nature. You're saying, well, why would I want to learn to shoot in low level light? Well, God forbid in the event somebody comes booming, banging into your house in the middle of the night, making things go bump in the night. You can learn how to use your flashlight to defend yourself with in multiple ways. Learn the purpose of what a flashlight can be used for at night. Not just to blind a threat. You can use it to gather information. You can use it as a control, if you will, to control a potential threat, depending on the level of the threat. But also, if you can find a range that teaches that, also lets you shoot in low level light. We waited till it got dark and shot. Okay, we took them out when it got dark and had them start shooting when it got dark. Part of it too is you're in your home, you hear something go bump in the night. Turn on the lights in your house? No. You'll blind yourself, and now you lose your advantage. But at the same token, you need to learn how to adapt your night vision to make out shapes. Now, I'm not saying you arbitrarily shoot anything you hear coming into your house in the middle of the night. No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is learn to use your night vision. Learn how to set it in. But anyway, enough of that. It's a great class. If you want more information on that, you can hit me up at jnlshooting@gmail.com. On to the thoughts of the day, though. My heart is utterly broken. Some of the things I have seen coming out of the western part of this state. Reports that I'm hearing. You hear it from one source, maybe not. Hear it from two, three or four, and then the light comes on. There's something bigger going on that nobody's talking about. Here locally, the local news is WRAL. It's like the biggest news channel on this side of the state. It's up there in Raleigh. There were one or two segments in this morning's news about the disaster in western North Carolina, and then it was on to what I call trivial news stories. Oh yeah. The big story of the day is the downtown Raleigh restaurant event. But there's reports coming out of western North Carolina that, the people there are mad at the local news for not telling the truth of the matter. Part of that is what the news is telling you is the death toll. Some folks are saying double or quadruple it. One lady that was being interviewed on the YouTube channel I was watching, she's also a whitewater rafting outfitter, and she's also a water rescue expert. And she was like, the news media is still saying that it's a search and rescue operation. And she's like, no, we have gone into search and recovery. Folks, if you don't know what the difference between that is, I will tell you. Search and rescue is you're actively looking for those that are still alive. You are actively looking for those still alive. Recovery is when you're retrieving remains, meaning deceased. And not just this one interview I watched, there was others. And it's going to sound morbid. It's almost going to sound crass and cruel. It's not my intent. But watch where the vultures congregate. Let me say that again. Watch where the vultures congregate. Because there's multiple reports, they're still finding bodies in trees. In trees. That tells you how the water level, how high it got. But back to this one lady, I failed to mention. She, Swanoa River, I think what it was, she said, normal height where she was at, where her house was at, her neighbors' homes along that river, normal depth of the water is 2 to 3 feet deep. She said prior to the hurricane rains and winds arriving, the river had rose to 9 feet. Anybody care to explain how that happened? 9 feet. I've got another friend that's on Facebook. His son is working for Duke Power, and he posted last night that they were going in today further, deeper in. He was telling his dad that the deeper they go in, the more bodies they're finding. And the thing is, you got people that are buried under tons of sand and debris. And you're saying, sand? Well, you got to know the terrain. Certain parts of the mountainous areas of western North Carolina don't have that rich clay. The rivers are in areas kind of sandy. Long story short, between the sand, the dirt, the debris, you've got people literally just buried in the ground. If I can find the link to that one video, I will post it in the description below with this lady in her interview. Now, mind you, it's about a 17 to 20 minute video, but I encourage you to watch it all the way through. I encourage you to watch it all the way through. The other thing, not one report, but multiple reports of FEMA interfering with average ordinary citizens trying to help other average ordinary citizens. FEMA confiscating supplies that are being donated. And there's even local law enforcement that are telling people, do not give a damn thing to FEMA. Folks, you don't know, FEMA's damn near broke. Okay? And that little puppet mouthpiece that looks like a Raggedy Ann doll with a bad suntan that calls herself the White House press secretary, you know, lying to the American people that FEMA never gave funds to illegal immigrants, but yet there's a tape a few months back where she basically said that funds were being provided to them via FEMA programs. FEMA about broke people. And all they're offering citizens in western North Carolina and eastern Tennessee and parts of Georgia and Florida, South Carolina, $750 that you got to go stand in a line and apply for and hope they approve you. Because there's reports of people getting denied. You heard me. There are reports of people being denied that $750 check. But yeah, if you come across the southern border, we're going to give you a debit card with $3,000, $5,000, food stamps to feed your family, and vouchers to pay for hotel rooms, and we'll send you to Ohio so you can get a driver's license, because they'll just give you one there. Yeah. The last thing they were covering in the local news before I got in the truck to come to work, talk about the elections coming up and how western North Carolina, there'll have to be some changes to the early voting sites and the local election sites. And now I'm going to go way out here on a way out here conspiracy theory now, because there's one floating out there. This one I want you to tell me what you think in the comments below. But there's one prevailing little conspiracy that this hurricane somehow was intentionally diverted through cloud seeding and other methods. Now, there's some truth to cloud seeding. Okay? We used it in the Vietnam War over North Vietnam to create torrential downpours that basically wiped out whole segments of land. Now, with that being said, can they really do that with a hurricane? Do we really have that kind of technology to control the weather? I want you to tell me what you think in the comments below. You see, I don't think that they can do that, but I wouldn't put it past the communists to try to employ some type of methodology to create natural disasters, if you will. Because one prevailing rumor is that just outside of Asheville is some of the largest deposits of lithium in the nation. Again, I'm way out in left field on this one, but just bear with. So wouldn't it be convenient to wipe out that area and then the federal government goes in and takes control of all that property and land under emergency directives? And suppose that several of the mining companies 3 days before the storm hit got their permits to go in and mine in the area. What do you think about that? Again, I'm not saying that that's what happened. I'm just asking your opinion of what you think. Okay? But if it is possible, I wouldn't put it past the Democratic communists to do something like that. Because, see, that's the other thing that could possibly come out of this. You may have a group of people that might decide, hey, we're going to have to postpone the election because the vast majority of our workers of our constituents can't make it to the polls. See, now let's fast forward to today. What's brewing in the Gulf? supposed to make landfall, I think they're saying Wednesday, right in the western middle portion of Florida. Yeah, western middle portion of Florida. Supposed to make landfall. Okay? Now, with that being said, I don't think there's enough money in FEMA's budget for two natural disasters like this. And that brings me to North Carolina, too. I'll bring up. Apparently, North Carolina had a fair amount of money set aside. Nobody seems to know where that has gone to. And I'll close with this. There's only been one leader from the state government that's been on ground pretty much since the day after it hit. The man's name is Mark Robinson. He's lieutenant governor of North Carolina, running for governor. Our illustrious governor, that piece of shit, Roy Boy Pooper Scooper, I think went over the weekend or slated to go out there today. We're going into 3 weeks. This is the start of the 3rd week since that hurricane hit. And he's just now going out there. Former President Trump's been out there. By the way, I got to see his plane fly over my house the other night. Yeah! Flew over it when he was coming to Fayetteville for a rally. I couldn't go because we were on the range. But long story short, this is Roy Boy Pooper Scooper supposedly was up in New York at a fundraiser. Now, the guy running to fill his seat, our Attorney General, that piece of shit, Josh Stein, same thing. Was too busy going to rallies to go out and meet the people. You see, that to me there's something very disingenuous. A whole lot of power trucks up here in hotels. Guessing they're headed to Florida. Anyway, folks, something very disingenuous about that level of leadership when they can't be depended on to show up after a disaster like that, even if it's only for half a day. That's all I've got right now. Y'all stay safe out there. 5 years open.